Top bean. Okay, we are live. Welcome to the PodOwwll podcast show with my special guest from Owwll, Ashely Davis. And right off the bat, I really love her promo code for the Owwll, and I want to get it right out there immediately. AshCo.
Ash Cole.
That is cool as hell. I thought my promo code was cool with comedy.
That's no. So my promo code is my business name. That's what everybody calls me. Is my business name Ashco? So my business is Ashco Creation. So why not have a promo code that says Ashco?
That's what I'm calling you from now on, Ashco.
Everybody else does, including my mama. So we're good.
That is funny. You know, when I worked at the John Lovett's Podcast Theater at Universal City Walk, John Lovett was coined as the Pod Father. And when I launched my podcast there, I was coined as the Pod Brother. I've been the Pod Brother ever since.
Nice.
So for a decade and a half of the world only knows me as Pod Brother. They're my first name, last name. They'd be like, "Hey, Pod." I'll be walking down the crowd. "Hey, Pod Brother."
That's funny.
So when I got on this app, and because you notice my logo is a PNN Academy. PNN stands for Pod Brother Nation. So that's my logo. PNN is my logo, which is kind of a play off of CNN. Little.
Yeah, comedy, I see that. I see that. Comedy. But you're very close to copyright infringement.
Very close, but not quite there. Not quite.
Not quite there, but very close.
Very close. It's like, I am the Pod Brother, and I do have a nation, and this is my network. So how you want to get down? I'm not trying to be nobody but me, so don't be tripping. Ain't but one Pod Brother in the universe, and he has his own nation, and he has his own network. So how you want to get down? How you want to do this? You want to throw hands, or what we going to
do? Throw some punches, right?
And I'm personal friends with Ashco, so don't mess with me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're on this podcast. We're in the Pod Bro Nation because it's our week.
Yeah.
It's our week. You gotta love our week.
This is the second one too.
Yeah, this is the second one. Everybody is like signing up for Owwll, like right, left. I've been working on my personal trainer. Her name is Stars Tina.
Uh-huh.
I've been working on her for about, I would say, since November of last year to get on Owwll. She kept brushing me off. She was like, "Oh, this is another app. Oh, this is another app that I need to get on." But once I guess she was in a meeting today, and because it's Owwll week and they were giving out promotions and stuff, she signed up today. And I was like, hey, yeah, we finally got a converter.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Pulled another one in. Another one drank the Kool-Aid.
Another one drank the Kool-Aid.
Oh, man, that's cool. That is pretty exciting. See, I just did a comedy workshop, which I would love for you to audit, because I would love to get your feedback on some things I'm doing right, some things I'm doing wrong.
Okay.
Because you've got a sense of humor. You're exciting. You're an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you're going to see things that maybe I might have missed in some of the coverage in some of my workshops. But I would love to have you definitely audit my stand-up comedy workshop someday, just to, sprinkle some of your notes into how I teach.
Hey, as long as you pronunciate words correctly, that's already an A+. Because you know how people be oh man, I'll be like, how am I supposed to watch this and you're not even saying the words?
That is such a distraction. How can I pay attention? I can't learn.
Right. How am I supposed to get this joke? How am I supposed to get this joke? I don't know.
Well, what I do is, here's my philosophy. My philosophy is every single person on the planet has 3 minutes. You just need to know how to get it out. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm not that funny. I don't have a sense of humor. I don't think I would be good at it." But the way I teach it, I break it down into such a finite process to where you go, oh, I could do that. Oh, I get that. Oh, these are the tools you need to get to that. Well, that's easy. What makes it hard is the time it takes you to develop real time. Because
Oh man.
if you're doing my comedy paradigm that I teach is to get a laugh every 20 seconds. So that means you got 15 seconds for the setup and the premise, 5 seconds for the punchline and the laugh, and you duplicate that 2 more times in a minute, and you got 3 laughs in 1 minute, and you duplicate those minutes by 6 minutes. So if it takes you a week to develop one joke, how long do you think it's going to take you to develop, a good solid 6 minutes or 10 minutes? That's why this is a long game. Like this is not a get in quick, get out quick, or get in quick, get successful quick. This is a long game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's no joke. So tell me, how long have you been on the Owwll app?
I've been on the Owwll app since. Well, I got on the Owwll app when it did first come out, but I was one of those people. This is another app that I have to keep up with. So I basically uninstalled it. Owwll Week happened the first Owwll Week happened, and the owner Jason was like, "Hey, get up, Ashely, get on the Owwll app. I'll give you $20, retry it again." And so I got on there, retried it. I love the features that he did. I love the updates that he did. And so then I started calling, and then I started getting sales, and I was like, "Oh, I love this." And then when I had shifted my business from the handmade soaps, lotions, and body sprays, and I shifted it to the 3D printing, I was like, I am not giving out my phone number anymore. I refuse. So I've just been telling people to download the Owwll app and like, hey, if you want to talk to me, if you really want one of these signs, you will get this app and you're gonna talk to me and you're gonna pay to talk to me because I don't have time to be calling everybody knowing that this is not going anywhere. Where I can call someone, pay them 10 minutes to hear my spill, or they pay me $1 to hear what I do. It's some type of transaction in there, and I'm happy. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Sorry, I really answered that question all way way more than what I needed.
I want you to go deep. I want you to be thorough. I want you to be passionate. I want you to paint the picture. It's a show.
Oh yeah.
This is the show part
I get it.
of the show.
I get it. I got you. I'm all over it.
I don't want you to be one of them guests. So, how you like the app? It's cool.
It's cool. No, I don't got all that. I got too much energy inside of me. I don't know. It may be the ketones I took this morning. I don't know, but I got a lot of energy.
So you've been in long enough to see Jason develop some of the amenities in the app as well.
Yeah.
What was one of those aha moments for you? Because I have a couple. I was just on with Coach Paul. We had so much fun chopping it up, and we just going back and forth because, Jason coined both Coach Paul and I like our OG because we've been from the beta. And we got a chance to see a lot of those aha moments. What was an aha moment on the Owwll app for you?
Actually, the recent update when he allowed office hours, I was like, and when I first looked at it, I was like, I'm on Owwll 24/7 anyway. Why do I need office hours? Until I had a conversation with that wonderful husband of mine. He's like, you don't spend enough time with me. And so we had to develop a schedule. And I even had to put on the schedule my office hours on Owwll. So
awesome.
The office hours, it automatically sets you available at that particular time. People, it just says, hey, like I'm available from 9 to 2 every day, 9 to 2, 9 to 2. And I don't have to think about going into the app and making myself active. It just automatically does it. I love it. That's my spiel.
That's a great amenity. I like that too. I've used it a couple times, and it's very, very cool because then it makes you like, oh, like I'm like doctor. I got office hours. I got doctor's hours. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm somebody now. I got some office hours that I had to stick to.
You got to check in with my office hours. My secretary will let you know when you can get a hold of me.
That's what I use Owwll for. It's like a virtual assistant without being a virtual assistant.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So, who are some of the cool people that you met on the Owwll app? Like who sticks out? I mean, other than the PodOwwll, who are some of your favorite people?
You know what? I do not have favorite people because everyone is cool in their own little way, right? And so I got my pod bro right here. You're cool with the pod. But I got tag team, Mr. EA. You know, we talk to each other all the time. I love Chella. I cannot stress how much I love Chella. Chella is the one I will call when I am like so stressed in the head about my business. And I'm like, Chella, I know the answer. Come on, let's draw it out. And Chella will sit there and just draw it out for you. I just love that. I love Sharente. She's the affirmation queen. So if you ever need an affirmation, you go talk to Sharente, right? She is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. As Coach Paul, the one you talked to.
Love Coach Paul. I love everybody that you've mentioned so far. Those are all like
Coach Paul, like he's like, how do I get you unstuck? And I remember one day I called him and I was like, I am so stuck. Like I have a list of things to do and I don't even know where to start. I am stuck. And he walked me through on how to organize them, on how to, number one, you know, which is more important, even though I'm well capable of doing that, but just having someone there that you can just call on a click of a dime and say, hey, look, I'm stressed. Please help me. It's always amazing. My business coach, my fitness coach, which is the same person, she's on there now. And I love that I can like call her like, hey, Tina, what was my homework assignment? And she'd be like, Ashely, we're not going to do this. I was like, at least I'm paying for your time. You know? Yeah, so I love her. And then who else is on there? I mean, there's so many people. I've talked to over 474 people on the Owwll app since September. Wow. So, yeah, it's crazy.
That's got to be the record. Do you know what the record for the most total people that you've talked to? Jason has to probably have that stat.
Yeah, I think Jason is up to like maybe 1,000 people.
Well, I mean, excluding him because he invented the app and he was the first one to get on and call people before anybody even got on. But I mean, like the rest of us, the disciples.
Yeah, I think there's one person who has like 400 calls on there.
Wow, you know who that is? Is that EA or?
No, it's not. Him and Loyalty are very close to 400. I think it's Rebecca.
Oh yeah, because she does a radio show. She does an inspirational radio show. She's also on the Wisdom app and she's on Fireside. Yeah. She's got a lot of followers on a lot of different platforms. She's one of my favorite people. She's one of the first people that I think I spent the longest on the app talking to. I think I kept extending.
Yeah.
You know, I think when it was all said and done, I ended up doing, like an hour and a half with her.
Like, and you just forget and you be like, oh, I got enough money. Yeah. I got enough money.
I like that. Yeah. So you now are you doing your own podcast as well, or you're mostly a guest on other people's shows?
I am mostly a guest on other people's show, even though I need my own podcast. Everybody tells me all the time, Ashely, you're so energetic. Ashely, you're so energetic. Ashely, you're so what is the other word they would call me? like controversial. You need your own podcast. And I'm like, but I like to be controversial on everybody else's podcast. So like they have to deal with that and I don't.
They get the fallout and all the feedback and all the
Yeah,
emails
I
and the
just
texts. You just came on, stirred the pot up, and you're like, bounce.
yeah. And stir it up a little bit, like ate it some, and then like here you go. There's the mess. Go clean it up.
That's hysterical. Do you know about the? I think there's an app, but it's also a website, and it literally is called Podcast Guest, and you can go on, and if you're looking for guests, there's thousands of guests to choose from. But if you're also looking to be a guest on thousands of podcasts, you can put your name in the mix, and you can kind of handpick the podcast that you want to be a guest on. And I get emails from them all the time. Hey, Pod Brother, when you coming on? When you coming on? When you coming on? And I've just been so busy with, building my own ecosystem, my own, you know, my own network, my own nation, my own PNN. It's hard to get on there. But at some point, I'm going to turn the corner and I'm just going to be a guest on as many podcasts as I possibly could be on. And I'm gonna do just what you do. I'm gonna just stir it up, and then be like, peace. Follow me at Pop of the Nation.
Right.
So the Owwll app is something that you are using for all aspects of your business. One of the things that I'm using it for my business is my stand-up comedy workshop. And like I said earlier, I would love for you to audit my class, but just to give you an example of how I use it, so you sign up to take the comedy workshop.
Yeah.
When you're done with the comedy workshop, then there's a one-on-one session you get with me to develop your 3-minute set for your graduation show. Once we develop your 3-minute set, then I help you promote people to come to your graduation show because I put you on tippingcomedians.com so that you also can make tips on your set when you're performing from the people that you bring. There's a ticket that you have to sell. Everybody needs to know what it feels like to promote a show that has a financially ticket-based show so that you understand what it takes to get out there and sell yourself for money. That's part of the assignment, is you got to sell tickets to the show. And then I put you on a headliner show. And then I have you download the Owwll app. So any part of that process that you might have a question in, you can then reach out to me on the Owwll app. Be like, hey, for this homework assignment, for marketing, promotion, for writing this bit, for performing, getting open mics, what should I do? How should I do it? So it's mandatory that all the students have to download the Owwll app. And then that's how you reach out to me for consultation for the process all the way through until you get your certificate. And you get your certificate once you perform your headliner show or perform with the headliner. Then you get your certificate of completion for the course. So that's one way that I use it. The same way that you use it for your clients is like, hey, you want to talk to me about my 3D printing? You got to download the app. You got to talk to me here. My students, if they want advice on how to move forward with their comedy ambitions, you got to download the app. You got to, put your inquiries there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like with the Owwll app, I've gotten more clients off the Owwll app than I did anywhere else, right? But granted, I don't market as hard on Instagram or anywhere else as well. Ooh, excuse me. The ketones are starting to wear down.
There it is.
And so I because my target audience is small businesses. My target audience is podcasters. So the Owwll app offers all of that in one. So I'm calling people like, hey, this is what I do. I make you signs for your podcast, or I make you signs for your company, and it's just right there laid out in front of me. The blueprint is laid out in front of me. It's how I execute is what makes it better.
Right. Well, I've done the same. I picked up a few clients for my podcast. I've even picked up a few clients to take my stand-up comedy workshop. Now, a lot of the, certain people, I'll like pitch them to buy the course, It's not that much, like $149. But other people, I
Mm-hmm.
want to audit the class. I give it to them for free as a scholarship kind of thing, because I really want their feedback on how I'm doing and what I'm doing. And
Okay.
I've pitched a lot of that here on the app, because there's certain people that are intriguing to me and are on the same frequency that I'm on with regards to uh, where I want to go with the future of the PNN Academy and how I teach industry tutorials, because there's a lot of other experts in the industry that I want to get on here to actually do full on courses. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, Maria Georgasian, she's an Owwll ambassador. She just got signed on 2 weeks ago, and she's an
Mm-hmm.
expert in writing scripts, breaking down scripts, scheduling scripts, and it's a very complicated, detailed, intricate skill, and it's not everybody can do it. Even the people who
Right.
who can do it, like sometimes can't do it well, because you have to
Mm-hmm.
have that brain that looks into the detail that you're going to need to make that part of the film production work. And most
Mm-hmm.
people don't think about that until they're on production. And now that detail is in front of them. And that wasn't in the scheduling, that wasn't in the budget, that wasn't in the breakdown. And now what do you
Mm-hmm.
do? So you need to have a mind that is a detail oriented mind. So I'm reaching out to her to teach at PNN Academy specifically how to write a script so that uh, the UPM or the line producer can break it down and schedule it, because that's also important. If the line producer can't figure out how to price it, then you're not going to have a project. And
Right.
so there's people like that that I'm reaching into the Owwll app, and I'm like, okay, I want you to teach a course, a full on course, in my academy, and here's the revenue share, here's the split. Are you down for that?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a perfect place for that, because everybody is an expert. Everybody is they know their business, they know their products, they know their services, they've researched the market, they've got their promotional strategies, and they really, really, really know how to teach what it is that they do. And this is
Mm-hmm.
this is one of the you can't find that. You can't find that on Instagram and Facebook. You can find that on LinkedIn, but you got to search through so many profiles, and then you got to reach out to them, hope they hit you back. And a lot of what I find is they like to go back and forth with a lot of messaging to vet you before they get on
Mm-hmm.
the phone with you. And here you're straight to the entrepreneur that owns the business, and you circumvent all of that texting and messaging and DMing and back and forth. You get right straight to face,
Right.
and that's really important. That's been lost in this generation of digital and social media communication.
Yeah, especially I don't know, have you ever heard the story behind how Owl was created?
Yeah, Jason, it's a very
Yeah.
interesting story. Yeah.
Yeah, he was said he was in his car and he wanted to talk to someone for a quick second and something, and I'm like, the concept was always there. I'm glad it's there, and it took for COVID to bring it out, and yeah, let's do it. Let's get on it.
Yeah, COVID brought out a lot of things that have changed our lives forever. And,
Right.
some of it's good, some of it's bad. But,
Hmm.
that happens. You got to take the good with the bad. And there's always a phoenix that flies out of the ashes. And
Hmm.
it's a beautiful thing when you find that. And I think Owwll is one of those phoenixes that, because of the pandemic and we all got you know pushed into our isolations, and then
Hmm.
Clubhouse was one of those things that helped us still reach out, be connected, but on a crowd group kind of basis, which it served a purpose. And were you on Clubhouse?
Yeah. Not during the pandemic, though. I ended up getting on Clubhouse like right afterwards.
Yeah. Well, the beginning of Clubhouse was a pretty amazing spiritual organic thing because we were on the beginning of lockdown. It took about 30 days of lockdown for isolation and um, depression and the lack of connect. The isolation kicks in about 30 days, and that's when the Clubhouse like really got on the radar and people got on. And then those beginning months, I can remember going on and listening to people share their most intimate things to a group, and then each person going on and sharing their most intimate things. And I'm thinking to myself, how therapeutic is this? And I come
Wow.
on and I shared stuff I had never shared with another human being before, and I thought I'd never share that with another human being. I'm like, okay, this is Barry. I'm never going to talk about this ever again, and nor do I need to.
Right.
And I found myself in front of a group of like 300 people on Clubhouse, just pouring my heart out.
Oh, wow.
And you would be in rooms for 10 hours just waiting for your chance to get up and share. And then a year into the pandemic, it just shifted into uh, just a grandstanding, soapboxing, feuding, trolling, scamming. There were people like scamming people for this thing and for that thing. There still were good rooms and there still were good people, and Clubhouse still serves a purpose, and it's a platform that I enjoy being on. But it just turned into this thing where it's like when you finally did find a good Clubhouse with good people that you wanted to connect with, you didn't get a chance to connect with them because you were like down in the audience. And if you did get pulled up on stage, you were only on stage for like 30 seconds and then they bounced you back out. And and it's just like, oh man, I didn't get a chance to connect. I wanted to talk to this person. Some people, you're like trying to find their information, and the next thing you know, they're gone. It's like, man. And then, you're trying to go on when they go on to catch them again, and you never do. And so Jason, I think, was feeling that frustration because I think Jason got on Clubhouse at the beginning like I got on Clubhouse, because it's those beginning days of Clubhouse is what makes you think about how cool would it be if we could just do a one-on-one connection without giving up our phone numbers?
Right.
And how cool would it be to share your expertise and actually get paid for it? Because I learned so much on Clubhouse. I mean, there were people, the CEO of Reebok, he's 80 years old, was on Clubhouse talking about how he started Reebok and the story with Michael Jordan. Like, I heard the Michael Jordan Reebok story from the CEO of Reebok on Clubhouse.
Nice.
So, to have access to someone like that was exciting, and to, to be in Jason's mind and to go, you know what? How cool would it be to have the CEO of Reebok talk with you one-on-one, give you that same advice, but one-on-one, and he can get paid for it, and he can set the rate for as high as he wants. And I'm thinking in my head, what would I pay to sit down even for 10 minutes for the CEO of any 100 companies that I would just love to learn how you got to where you are?
Right.
Would you pay $500 to sit down and talk with, Lakers coach? Yeah, that would be,
that'd be worth it. It will be worth it. I can tell you that.
So his story is very fascinating and it's very interesting. It's cool to be a part of his story because you and I, we're the byproducts of what came out of his brain.
Right.
What he thought about, we're actually doing right now. we're both ambassadors on the app doing a live podcast during Live Owl Week to stimulate more people to participate in using the app and figuring out their way. You know, some people, yeah, they want to use it for the money. Some people want to use it to learn things. Some people want to use it to share things. Some people want to use it for all the above. You know, some people still have pandemic cabin fever and they're still lonely. They just want to call and get some inspiration from a life coach.
Oh man, there's a ton of life coaches on there. I can tell you that there are a
Yeah.
ton of life coaches on there.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, I feel very honored to be a part of all this, and I'm glad people like you are on it, who are enthusiastic and passionate, and actually bring, you know, some nuggets to the table of things we can learn, and a business that is very exciting and you know, serves a thrilling purpose for your branding. You know, 3D modeling for your logos, and that's super cool.
Yeah, so actually, I just had a shift in the business. I'm not really doing the branding thing per se anymore. I'm just doing 3D printing. So if you need something 3D print, like if you have a prototype of something in your head, I can 3D print your case for you. So I'm bringing that more out because that I'm finding people are not really want to hold their logo in a sense. I'm finding people more like, well, can you just 3D print me this box for my such and such that I just built? Sure, no problem. Or I get people, hey, I have an iPhone. I have the Apple Watch. I have the what is it the earphones, the head, and all the things that need to be charged. Can you 3D print me one thing where I can just sit it on there and everything charges? So I do that now, and that literally took over doing the branding stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, well, thank you, God, for the download and the the niche turnaround. So yeah, I just do custom 3D printing.
And what's exciting for you is it prints anything. Like if you can think of it, it can print it. Is that true?
Yeah, almost anything. If you can design it, you can 3D print it.
Yeah, because I also saw you did a 3D print of, I think when I had you on before, you showed me like a dragon, like a mobile
Yeah,
toy dragon with the, you know, like functioning joints. And I was just like,
right.
wow, that was all done on a 3D printer. It's amazing what you can do.
I actually got one. I'm currently here at work, but I actually got one going right now. I may cut out for a minute, but I'm going to show you how it works. You want to see it?
I would love to.
All right. So I may cut out for a little bit because you know we switching Wi-Fi's and technology and stuff. But yeah, so there's cool things we have. I also 3D print here at work too. So I have a business on it. I have a business on it, and then they pay me at work here to do it as well. So
That's cool. That's cool. You get a chance to double dip a little bit.
No, I don't double dip. They're all separate. Yeah, so here is the 3D printer working right now.
Wow.
This is it's printing one of the dragons, and it's just going along with it. This one kind of messed up a whole lot, believe it or not, but I'm just gonna let it finish. It's actually been printing for 28 hours, 6 minutes, and it still has 40 hours and 35 minutes to go.
Wow. So the
Yeah.
average print time on an average project is about a couple days. Is that kind of the average time?
About a couple, yeah, about it is about a couple of days. I would say about. I think the shortest thing I've ever printed was 5 minutes, which was. Oh, I got a lot of stuff. Which was this thing, this little box right here. I 3D printed for work. It's to hold something I designed in it. So this took about 5 minutes to print, and I created I built this little, we call it the little shank because of how it looks. But this is a CO2 car. This took 3 hours, maybe even 6 hours to print.
Hey,
One
check
of
this
these.
out. We're getting a call from one of your favorite people. How cool.
Ooh.
Not to cut you off, but I think it's cool to get a call in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
This is Chilla Diaz. Chilla, how are you?
Oh my goodness! Does that mean I need to be PG now?
It's the Pod Brother Show. You know, I'm a stand-up comedian, so we can go adult, we can go PG, we can go. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Owwll week, so we probably should be corporate G rated for the Owwll week. But as soon as the Owwll week is over, baby, we like back to adult comedy.
Let's keep it PG. Let's keep it PG. So, what is the show about today? And how can I best contribute and have some fun?
Well, I am talking with one of your fans. I'm talking with Ashely Davis. Today is the PodOwwll live podcast show with other Owwll ambassadors. And
yes.
And right now, I had a great show with EA earlier, and then I had an amazing show with Coach Paul, and I'm now on with Ashely Davis, who I just found out has a cool stage name, Ashco, which is also her Owwll promo code, and it's very, very exciting times.
And talk about perfect timing, because I had no idea you were doing that.
I know.
And here I am calling you. And I was calling you because I saw your numbers, and I saw that you're getting close to that gold 100 calls.
Yeah.
Oh, we cool. Am I getting close to 100? I haven't even paid attention.
Oh yeah. You're going to be after we finish here after my call. You're 20 to go.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that.
Yes.
I'm going to have to do a screen capture of whoever's my 100th call.
And okay, well, don't tell me that. I will make sure of it.
I'm going to.
I will see. I'm the type of person that would see you at 99 and say, "Okay, hang up. I'm about to call you right back." So give me one.
I'm going to frame that. I'm going to screen capture that 100th call. I'm going to frame it.
Cheating.
I'm going to blow it up like a movie
cheating.
Poster. Shortcuts. No shortcuts, ma'am. No shortcuts.
Yeah. There's only one person can be your first, and one person can be your 100th.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So
what's... you know what? I think it's so perfect that all three of us are here today, because we met on Owwll. And here we are talking about Owwll, and we're talking on the Owwll app, or I'm speaking from the Owwll app.
Yeah, I think that is so cool that I actually got a call while I'm on Owwll Live, so that we can see, hey, look, this is how it happens.
This is just right.
And you're
amazing.
You're like one of the most loved people on here. I mean, every single person that I talk to, they're like, "Oh my God, she changed my world. She opened up some cool stuff for me. She's amazing. She's this, she's that." I'm like, you're like a Owwll guru.
She's like the Owwll mom.
You're like an Owwll mom. You're like an Owwll urban legend.
Please, let me be honest. No, please take the mom title away. Maybe queen. No, mom. I'm about to date. I'm going to start dating. So please.
Okay.
So I have two sons, and one of my sons worked at Trader Joe's. It's a supermarket if you're not in the area, but so I got friendly with some of his coworkers. Next thing you know, I walk into the store and I have like 5, 7 different teens calling me mom. I was like, no, please, no. I'm here, groceries is a great place to meet men. I said, I can't be having these men thinking I have 5 children.
They about to step up and make a move, and they be like, "Wow, she got 5 kids."
5, exactly.
I think
exactly. I couldn't do that. So let's leave the. No, it's really great. I just had a call with somebody that's just brand new to the platform, and to me, sharing what I've learned on the platform. How can you get the best? How can you get the most out of the platform, right? Because it's a brand new platform, and just giving them 1, 2 tips, 3 tips to help them, guide them so they are able to get the most out of this app. To me, it's a win-win-win. They win, the platform wins, and we all win, because the bigger this platform gets, more resources we're all going to have.
Yes. I see that. You know what I see? I see a convention center filled with about 30,000 owls, and Jason going up and bringing up some of, like, the early adapters, you, myself, Coach Paul, just like, these are the pioneers that helped me get this thing off the ground, and I want you to hear their story. And I can just see you going on stage in front of, like, 20,000 people, the Orlando Convention Center, and just like having, these little bright-eyed owlets in the audience just frantically taking notes about everything that you've learned and everything that you know, and just want to get a selfie with you. I can see it. I totally see it.
I see it. And, between the 3 of us, let's put it out there, right? Because we all have so much wisdom, so much knowledge, and it's about sharing it. And so that helping others with cutting the learning curve, right? I've already made plenty of mistakes in my business. I've already worked with some phenomenal coaches. Let me share that wisdom so that it can help somebody else speed up their journey.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Plus, also again, one more time, but the 3 of us met here on the platform, and the collaborations I have seen, that I have seen people have, right? Collaborating, they're doing trainings together, they're doing LinkedIn lives together, they're doing Facebook lives together. It's just been so magical. I know people don't like the magical word, but it's a great place to come and meet and connect with people that are happy to see you succeed.
That is true.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
And I wasn't planning on saying all of that, but it is true, right? We don't have to plan anything when I have seen it. I have seen it day in, day out, the collaborations that are happening, the helping each other, the sharing resources.
Mm-hmm.
That is cool.
And this is the one app I have. I think I've been on the app since September, and literally there was one person who got on as a bot, but Jason fixed that right away.
Right away.
Yeah. And no bots. You're actually talking to real people. That's one thing I love about it. They're real people, not someone's secretary, not someone's VA, like the actual person of that company.
Yeah.
And also the fact that the founder is active on the platform and calls people. He will call. If you're available, you happen to be on the phone, he'll call. He'll find out what's going on. How can I be of service? What do you need?
That is so awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, he's hands-on.
Did she extend the call? It's almost over. This is where you go, Chella, I need more money. Extend the call. We're about to end.
I'm honored that you called me. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. You guys have a fantabulous rest of the day.
All right. Thank you, love. Okay, that was so cool. I'm telling you, that's a 5-star. And I'm going to put in here, this was so cool to have her call us while we're live. While we are live on the PodOwwll show. With Ashco.
Ashco.
All right. That was very cool. She's so inspiring.
Oh, very much inspiring. We just can't call her mom anymore.
Yeah. I get it. You know, you're back out there around 2, you know?
Yeah.
You can't, some guys, they're like, that's a deal killer. You got, you can have a kid, 2.
Right.
You got 5, 6 trailing behind you. We're like, oh, I don't know if I want to sign up for that. All right, so I'm going to do a screen capture of this. Boom, bada bing, so you guys could see. Gave her the 5-star with a nice little feedback comment. And I'm going to send that off. So there. How cool is that? Awesome. So I know you got things to do.
Yes.
I like to try to keep these under an hour. And it's been so much fun chopping it up with you, Ashco. I can't wait to do it again. And there's going to be some, as you can see, I got a lot of logos and stuff going. At some point, I'm going to reach out to you and have you 3D print some of my logos for for some of my shows. And it should be fun. So where can we find you on the socials? We know where we can find you here on Owwll. We know what your promo code is. But
yes. Yeah, so the socials, you have at Instagram, you have Ash_co_creation. And that also goes for Thread. If you just look up Ashco Creations, I have branded my name everywhere on all the social media as Ashco Creations with an S, not a Z. I am proper. And so, yeah, just find that and you'll find all my 3D printing stuff. You may find a little bit of the soap things. I guess I didn't do a good cleaning or wiping stuff off. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, you can find me at podbrother.com. You can find programs like this at podbrothernation.com. And if you want to learn how to do stand-up comedy, go to pnnacademy.org. And we, too, will insert some funny into your bate. And you then can share that with other people. So I always like to leave by telling people to always be nice to yourself, because if you're nice to yourself, you're going to be nice to other people. Ashco, thank you very much for hanging out with the PodOwwll, and we will have to do this again.
Oh, yeah. Always. Anytime. My pleasure.
All right. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Later.
Later.